Princess Bridget. I'm going to have some fun here covering this Christmas tree cone. It is a cone I picked up at Hobby Lobby, and I got a couple of them, and I'm surprised I've never done one. So I have my Janome FM725 out here, which you know I absolutely love. I have some green scraps, and I want to make a fabric to cut up and cover my Christmas tree in strips. So my plan here is to take these scrap pieces I had, and I want to use up everything I have. These were offcuts from other projects, and I'm going to run them through my Janome and just have some fun making a scrappy piece of fabric, and then I'm going to iron it. And I'm not going to do embellishing on my free motion sewing machine because I'm really looking for a shabby chic base. I pulled out in this pile this beautiful piece of velvet, so if these don't become enough to cover my whole cylinder, I will be cheating a little bit with velvet, but I don't call that cheating. It's gorgeous. So gonna set that off to the side. I was gonna use it in the making of the fabric, but then I decided not to. So after I'm done creating that piece of fabric, I am then going to use my machine for actually what it's intended for. And I'm going to create a little star. And I'm going to put my wool roving here through my machine and get it pretty dense. And then I will be stuffing it into this cookie cutter. And I will then be doing some hand needle punching to get it nice and dense, and I'll have a little hole for it, and then I'll be sticking it on top. That's my plan. I don't know how it's going to work out. As I was diving into my stash, I mean, how much stuff have I collected over the years? I'm a little crazy. I found these curly locks, which are so adorable. I've used them for hair on little sculptures that I've made, and I thought, how fun would those maybe be acting as little snow pieces, icicles? I'm not sure. Not sure I'm going to use it, but when I saw it, I wanted to pull it out and show you. And I will do a link in the description to where I get a lot of my wool goodies. And it's a beautiful store here in Vermont, and they do ship. So I will put that link in the description for you if you want some eye candy in the wool department. So that is my plan. I'm going to go into fast forward and do everything and get all my things prepped. And then I'll come back and reposition the camera so we can hopefully get this cone covered. And I'm going to be using my glue gun for that. And I'm not sure how it's going to go. This is how I roll. And I just love playing and seeing where things go. And I hope you'll join me for this one and get some good information and have some fun getting in the holiday spirit. I finished my pieces of fabric, and it was a lot of fun just messing around. It always takes me a while to get my groove going with this, but that's okay. I used some bigger pieces of fabric that I had on this one. This one was a lot of little small strips. I'm going to iron them down now with my silicone, should say Teflon sheet, and because there are pieces of the white showing up from the Thermolam Plus, and I don't want to get that on my iron. So I didn't go all the way to the edge there. So let me do that. And I think I am going to do some stitching on this because, pardon me, when I was going and making the fabric, I was overlapping some pieces, and they don't always adhere as well to the Thermolam base because they're going through a piece of fabric as well. So it's 2-ply into the Thermolam. So I am going to take these to my sewing machine, and I'm not going to get too crazy. I'm just going to take this beautiful, gorgeous green, and I am going to put my free motion foot on and zoom around and just tack things down where I feel like they're not tacked down. And that's just going to be helpful, I think, when I cut it apart, because I want this to stay together and I don't want a ton of glue on it, I hope. I don't know. So we shall see. But I am going to go ahead and do that. And I will not take you because I have done that a lot in other videos. And I'm just going to go ahead and do that on my own. But I did want to show you what was going on with my little star. So I want my star to go on top. So I'm going to create that. And let's see if I can zoom in a little here. I didn't really feel like the needles were working very well on the FM725. I might need to change them out. I don't know. It was getting sucked in, and that process might be nice when you're working on some sort of landscape, like a base layer of felt already made, and then taking pieces and creating your design. It didn't seem to like this too much. And I have made these little stars before, so I'm going to go ahead and take, for starters, these are barb needles. I don't know if you can see, this is a 38, a 36, a 38, and a 40. And they go by gauge as well. And I am going to, so 36 is the larger, coarser needle. 40 is finer. So I'm going to take a 36 needle, and I am going to take one of these out here. And I'm just going to start getting into my little star here. And this is going to take some time, so I definitely will be putting this in fast forward. And I have this needle, but I also have this, which is helpful. Let me see if I can open it up. I'm not sure what's going on with that. You don't want to take the needles out. So this is a 3-punch needle. 3. And I will be getting in there too with this. Now, you have to be extra careful and take your time with this, because if you don't really focus, you'll just break your needle and it's not enjoyable. This is a 5-punch that I have. I won't be using this, but that is very helpful as a tool for felting also. And let me know if you want to see some felting projects. I would love to have your feedback on that. and see if you'd like to do something. I've made many things. So I've made little armature sculptures, beautiful little dolls and things. There's so much you can do with wool. So, but I'm going to go ahead and do this too. And I'll pop that back on and do it, and just do it in fast forward, because it does take a long time, but then you'll be able to see it and get an idea of how long it does take, because that'll be a fast forward. So let me go over and do my pieces, and then bring everything all back here together and start cutting the strips, get my glue gun out, and see how it goes making what I hope is going to be a pretty tree. I want to put it out in my house, and I don't know. I don't know. Let's just see how it goes. Always keep the faith, right? Keep the faith. I have all my pieces together, and I took this to the sewing machine, these two pieces of fabric, and I did the free motion on top. I absolutely love making these. I love the texture. I don't know what it is, but I am absolutely in love with this process, with or without the organza on top. I've done other videos. If you like, please check them out. I don't know where this is all going. I want to use them in clothing. I'm not sure. My mind just goes crazy with this whole thing. So let me stay focused, or try to stay focused. I, pardon me, have my cone. I do have some paint. I don't know if I'm going to paint it right now, but I do have some green paint if I want to paint the bottom. I guess I can go ahead and take this sticker off. That way it'll seem like I made that too. Oh, that's funny. So I have my glue gun and I have my pieces. Now, I don't know exactly what I'm going to do here. I'm going to cut them in strips, I think. I'm going to get my ruler. And I have my rotary cutter. So let me get this out of the way. I'm going to start with a strip just to see what I can come up with here. And I think I'm going to go for about an inch. Just going to wing it here. Although I have that little piece right there. I want to get that off. I don't want the white. Though I feel like if the white is there, it will be like snow. So let me see what I can come up with. So this is a piece that's about 1 inch. And I guess I could take the little edges off. So let me see. I don't even know what will occur. I think I'm just going to start gluing it and just cutting strips and gluing them on here and at a little bit of a diagonal. And I'm going to have to do some patching. And as I said, I have my scraps I can patch with that I made the fabric with, but I also have this beautiful green that I can patch with. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I will be doing that and fast forward. I do not know if I have enough made, so we'll see. I do want to say I have my little star, and I'll have to get that on there somehow. And that was fun to make. Now, it did take a fair amount of time. I don't know if you watched the process, and it is not something you want to do when you're watching TV. You need to completely focus. Ask me how I know. It hurts when you get poked with a barbed needle. It is worse than a sewing needle. So FYI, if you choose to do that, it's something that you really need to focus on. And I thoroughly enjoy it, but it's an all in on the project. So I'm going to try to get a little hole in there somehow, probably with my, let's see, I can get in here, pick which side I want. And then I'm just going to get my awl and probably just stab it a couple times and get in there and somehow attach it. That won't be hard. I'm not worried about that part. I'm worried about this part. So I have some scrap parchment paper, so it hopefully won't burn myself too much with my glue gun. And I'm just going to go for it, and we'll see what I come up with. I love how it came out. I probably should have started at a diagonal on the bottom, but I didn't. No, that's okay. I have some extra here. I'm going to do the bottom because I thought about painting it, but I have some extra pieces and I think I'm going to do the bottom. And then I'm going to patch just a couple of these holes with some of my leftover little tiny strips. I'm going to stick them in there, and I don't even think you'll notice it at all. I'm really excited. And then I'm going to just take my scissors and decide which way I like my star the best. But I have to decide. And then I'm just going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut a hole in there. And I am just going to put some glue in there and put that little guy on top of there. And then we'll take a look at it. But I thought while I bandage this baby up, I will clean up at the same time and come back and we'll take a final look. I love it. I almost forgot my little curly locks. So I don't know if I want them on there or not. I can't decide. I am not going to use this velvet because I don't feel like I need it. I'm going to save that for another project. That is a beautiful piece. I want to get more of that. I don't know. Is it too much? Is it too fibery? I'm going to put a few on, and if you guys could let me know what you think. These guys they're cute. They're fun to play with. They're fun to play with. So let's just put a few. All I need is a dab of glue. Just a dab. And then if I can see where I put the dab, there it is. Okay, so making more of a mess. I don't want to lose the curl in them. Let's see. Just a little one here and there. And then I can always add more if I want. But I would love the feedback. If you're still watching, I know this video has gotten kind of long. But if you like it with the little curlies or not. Let's see. I want to trim them up. I like the curl. Let's see. Oh, they're kind of cute. Okay, let me add a few more. And, oh, got some cut up. So let me add a few more. Here it is, all finished. I decided to take a walk outside. It's so beautiful. It is snowing. It is gorgeous. These are my stars. It's so beautiful. There is the covered bridge. Everything's blanketed in snow. It's my little town. It's my little shop, who I absolutely love. So much creativity goes on in there. Love it. All the trees covered in snow. And this is what I ended up with. And I added the other little pieces of trim on it. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you got something out of the video. I had so much fun. It took me a little while, but so much fun here. Hope you guys are all well. Until next time, have fun out there. Bye.